If you're trying to lean bulk, you're trying to progress, you're trying to grow, you just can't be shredded unless you're a freak of nature. Bulking, like why, when, what it is, how long should you bulk for? This might be the start of a new series, guys.
Hey, or you let me put in shoes?
I didn't even see you.
Can I please get a soy latte with, do you have equal? One of those.
What'd you get it with?
Equal.
Yeah, I'll get one too, please.
Thank you. Thanks, baby. How are you?
How are you? Okay, so coffee in the system. Now I can start this video officially. So, this might be the start of a new series, guys. I was thinking about it today. There's a lot of glory and glamour in shredding and getting absolutely shredded. Case in point, Christian Guzman summer shredding. But there's not a lot of stuff on bulking. So I thought this could be a good excuse for me to share my bulking, like current bulking journey with you guys. And there's a lot of, I guess, complicated things that make up bulking. Like there's food, there's training, recovery, there's the mental side of it. There's so much that I could go on about. So I thought this would be the perfect time to do that. So I figured, I said to Joel this morning, I literally said, this is the thoughts on the new series.
What you actually said was, everything's hard in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's actually what I said. I said everything's exhausting after 3 p.m.
In the afternoon, everything's hard.
What I did say, I said, winter is the perfect time to do this series, winter bulking. So we are going to the coldest place possible in Victoria right now. Road trip. Good thing about this, we got 5 hours in the car and the fucking entertainment system doesn't work.
Radio's broken.
Yeah, I thought that was getting fixed.
Yeah, I don't know. The guy who dropped it off to didn't give 2 fucks. Didn't even put washer fluid in the car.
Can you just tell that story again? What you just told me? Joel just told me. I don't know why it took you so long to tell me that as well.
That's a different guy.
I know, but
That's a trailer guy.
While it's fresh, because I don't want to ever forget this, and people find this funny, especially Aussies watching this. We were saying how funny Aussies are, like just middle-aged Aussie bogans, just like they're just the best.
They're the funniest people in the world.
So Joel, just tell exactly what you said to me, because this is too funny.
Picked up the trailer from this really Aussie bloke, and I was just making conversation with him. I said, do you ever get to go up the snow? Do you ever go up that way? He goes, you know, I get up the high country sometimes with my mates, and I straight away I'm like, oh, this guy's a four-wheel driver. And I'm making conversation with him saying, yeah, shit, I'm terrified of four-wheel driving. I don't want to get my car stuck somewhere, or I don't want anything like that. And he goes, wait till you're fucking driving in half a metre of water, and you got water up to your bonnet. You drive through water, and you got water up to your fucking bonnet. You asshole's doing this. Yeah, asshole's doing this. And I didn't know what he was doing with his hand. Like his hand's just doing it. And I'm looking at his hand, and I'm looking at him. Yeah, asshole's making some movements.
That is just the most Aussie thing I think I've ever heard.
I just pissed myself.
Oh,
this guy's
you can't
hilarious.
not. Anytime you get nervous, I mean,
when you point the camera on me.
It's around 30 more minutes of climbing the mountain. She was feeling sick, guys.
She's panting.
She's feeling a bit sick. Windy roads were getting her. I think we're good to go now. Nearly there.
She's going in the big truck.
Hey Dad, have you tried using the seatbelts with it yet?
Yeah.
Did you go faster?
Yeah, it flies.
Really?
So I can't remember who it was, but shout out to that YouTube commenter, because I was saying with Dad, it was so slow in this thing last time, and then some guy's like, put your seatbelts on. And it like stops the cap on it. That's great. Hey Mum.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Not even 11 AM and Joel and I have already went out and shot some slouch. Went snowboarding in the new design. I'll show you guys this because it's just, I think it's cool. And now I'm just gonna go to gym. As I said, I'm gonna get the pre-workout ready and then start talking to you guys a little bit about the topic of today's video, the main topic, which is bulking, like why, when, what it is. Let's get some pride. Now, I'm not eating before today's workout, so already busting some misconceptions about bulking. You don't really need to eat before you train if you don't want. For me, training fasted feels really good with mental clarity. The energy is pretty much as good, I think, Only thing I noticed with carbs is I get a better pump. So it's pretty much for me a superficial thing at that point because I don't notice too much difference. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat, pretty simple. That's kind of like where I'm at right now in my bulking state, is that I'm not force feeding food. I'm pretty much eating when I'm hungry and I'm eating till I'm full. And that tends to work out to be in a slight surplus for me. So the whole point of doing this, if I do this as a series, the whole point of doing these videos is to pretty much highlight the importance of being in a calorie surplus, because a deficit and dieting, all that's gonna do is, it's just temporary. It'll get you leaner, but then you're gonna feel pretty average. You shouldn't be in a state of fat loss all the time, especially, and this is guys and girls included. If you're trying to progress and you wanna make progress in the gym, get stronger, feel good, you should be in a surplus for some of the time, or at least close to maintenance, so that you can actually perform, feel good, give your body what it needs to recover and grow. So for me, in my past experience, I spent way too long in a deficit for a long period of time, like even the past like 5 years, and it means not enough time in a surplus, not enough time bulking per se, and then I end up feeling average and my body doesn't change and it's annoying. So I just want to highlight the importance of actually being in a surplus for a long time. Now, a lot of people say, how long should you bulk for? Ideally, you want to bulk for as long as you can, because that means you're growing and you're progressing moving forward. Now, the bad thing about that is slowly you accumulate some fat gain. Hang on, I'm just gonna fill this up. Now, no one wants to get fat, and it's pretty much you bulk for as long as you can comfortably stay at that body fat percentage for. So there is no percentage that is ideal to stay at, really, because it depends on the person. If I'm getting to the point where, so let's say I say, okay, bulk until you're 15%, if you can maintain that, that's great. But let's say I'm 15% body fat and I feel like absolute hell, I feel like I look bad, it's affecting me mentally, I don't wanna do it, because I mean, me personally, if I get too fat, I hate it and it drives me crazy. So it doesn't matter what someone says is the right body fat percentage to stay at, it doesn't matter. If it's gonna drive me crazy, it's gonna drive me crazy. So then I need to get a little bit leaner. So it depends on the person. You have to take all these things into account of where you feel comfortable at, but the best advice I can give you guys is to take it slow. You don't wanna get too fat too quickly. That's just terrible. So that's why we start very slow, and you start very intuitively by eating until you're full. You still wanna be hungry sometimes. I'm still pretty much utilizing some intermittent fasting because I enjoy it. And then until the weight gain stalls or nothing at all, or performance in the gym struggles, we don't increase calories really, because there's not much point of force feeding in extra 500, 1,000 calories unless you really need it. So for me, I can make progress right now eating exactly what I'm eating, which will be around 25 to 2,600. And I'm currently sitting at a body fat percentage that I'm comfortable with, but it's not lean. I don't feel lean at all. I would love to be leaner always, but then I've accepted that I would always love to be leaner. So to sum that up, ideally stay in a surplus for as long as you can, guys and girls, because that means you're growing, you're making progress. You need to find a, Joel's having a cold shower, he's just screaming, ignore that. And you need to find that level of body fat that you're happy with, and you can go, okay, look, this is what I'm gonna have as a trade-off for making some progress in the gym. So it's always that trade-off between feeling like you look amazing in your best when you're lean, and then actually not performing in the gym, and then performing in the gym and just thinking, okay, I can deal with this for a little bit. How long can you deal with that for? That's pretty much the point in question. So I like it now because I feel like I'm moving forward in the gym, I'm getting stronger, my sessions feel great, and I'm focusing more on that and the performance aspect as opposed to how I look. And that's pretty much how I deal with that mentally. So yeah, for me, this bulk is probably gonna be 4 months, I'd say, and hopefully I don't get too fat. That would be ideal.
Good luck with that, sweetheart.
Thanks. But lately this has been my best one so far though.
That going?
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh shit. That's actually good ass.
Nah.
You think you get that for free, man?
Dance, Mum.
Yeah.
Dance, go. Quick, dance.
How do you want to dance?
Dance, quick.
That is disgusting.
Hold on.
That is disgusting.
That's pretty good.
Huh?
This is where I got it from.
Yeah.
This is why I'm such an unbelievably bad dancer.
Zach, now you have to dance.
No. Sorry guys, that was amazing dancing, but I have to interrupt it. Just to let you know that is the last chance to sign up for my 8-week challenge. In the next literally 12 hours maybe. So apologies if you're watching this in the future. You can still sign up to my coaching. But for those who are currently in this time zone right now, this time frame, last chance, guys, don't miss out. Back to the video.
Oh yeah, how good's the gym down here, Joel?
It's the best. It's so big. It's got everything. No one ever uses your equipment. It's got 2 of everything nearly.
Cool, so we made it to the gym of paradise. Now, arms today, pretty much the way we're training is everything has a few things. It's a pause, squeeze, and we're going for around 6 to 8 reps. It looks quite slow, but as we go heavier, it is the most painful thing ever, and plus we're minimizing injury as well. So, single arm cable curls, superset with tricep push down. 3 exercises, around 3 to 4 sets. So first exercise done, second superset we're up to, I'm just doing dumbbell curls, just standard. Whether or not you twist your wrists, entirely up to you. I did it for the first set, didn't feel as good, so I'm just gonna keep my wrists like that. And supersetting this with single arm, another single arm exercise, but overhead extensions on the cable. Bit more advantageous for the long head of the tricep instead of doing dumbbells or a free weight, purely because the tension's quite evenly spread, so it just feels nicer in normal English. It feels hard pretty much every step of the way. So again, nice and controlled on both of these, and that is my favorite exercise, especially for these bitch triceps. Need to build more of this bit of it, so that's why I prioritize that second, so I still have a bit of energy, a bit stronger. And yeah, we're gonna do pretty much 3 working sets of this.
So the hardest thing to focus on is when the set gets tough, not just throw your form out the window. Because most people get painful and they just fucking run. But as soon as it gets painful, that's when you have to really focus, slow it down, kind of lean into it a bit. And that's when you know you're a shaker.
Like that? Yeah, it's like shoulder width roughly. No caller ID.
Yeah, it's a quick. Hello? That's pretty much it. Fuck off.
Slow and bring the bar down to your neck. Yeah, like that. But really slow. And back up.
Now finally, from what we tried to do with Joel before we got a call, it's kind of like a close grip press and skull crusher combination. That's like how it feels. So instead of going like this, and instead of going like that, it's like, so smashes this as well. Pretty much the last exercise, we'll do some dips to finish, and we're gonna superset this with a rope curl to really smash the brachialis in there and get a general thickness to the biceps. Good. Relax grip here, squeezing the arms back. So if you guys are one of my clients, online coaching, have my app, you'd be all over this and you'd be like, Zach, shut the fuck up, we get it. But if you don't, now's your chance to join. In all seriousness though, I've just launched my challenge as well, the 8-week challenge. So you guys have about 1 or 2 days by the time this video goes live to join and sign up to that. Personalized meal plan, you get my workout program, everything you need to achieve your goals, and there's thousands of dollars of prizes up for grabs. So I wanted to let you know that before I forget and then the sign-up's closed. So link is in the description. Okay, so post-gym meal. Obviously didn't eat today, so this is where we make up for it. We have salmon bowl with eggs, and then just a scoop of whey on the side. Whole salmon fillet, about 3 to 4 eggs in here because I made a batch of it, and around 300 grams of rice. This shake here. This will keep me full for quite a while. Whether or not I have a meal in between now and dinner, I'm not sure, depends on how I feel. Otherwise, I'll just load up on dinner. So that's kind of like how I'm doing it. Salmon, I try to keep this as much as I can, purely because the omega-3s. Otherwise, I will just take fish oils. And I just love this meal. We'll get us some chicken on the way home.
Oh, you said chicken.
How many grilled chickens do you want?
Hey, can I just get 4 pieces of grilled chicken?
4 pieces of grilled chicken by themselves?
Yes, please.
And finally, back home. So before we just cap this video, really quickly, I want to touch on one last topic that I didn't mention earlier, which is pretty much at what stage should you bulk? Because I know a lot of people out there are probably wondering, what do I do with this physique? And then, unfortunately, I can't look at every one of you, weirdly enough, but I will pretty much give you a few guidelines as to what I would recommend for a few different stages of physiques, I guess. So give me a second, I'm just gonna put this on a tripod. Okay, so really quickly guys, at what stage should you bulk? Like I said earlier, ideally we want to be a bit leaner because you don't want to be too fat too quick, because then you're just gonna feel worse and worse and worse. So really, if you're kind of like skinny fat, that's the only place where a bit of complications arise, because you'll feel too skinny to cut, because you feel like once you cut then you'll just have nothing left. And then you feel too chubby to actually bulk and commit to a surplus because you don't want to accumulate even more fat gain. So here's where a little bit of nuance comes into play, and you kind of have to address where you are in your training, because if you're kind of new to training, you can get away with being in a deficit / slight maintenance and then training super hard, and you can grow a bit of muscle and you can tighten up and burn a bit of fat. If you're not new to training, then I feel like you have to just kind of commit to one or the other, a surplus or a little dieting phase. Now, there's no issues with tightening up really quickly for a 6 to 8 week cut, tighten up, lose a couple kilos, and then get into a surplus. But there's also no issues in going, okay, well, let's eat at maintenance and let's see what happens to my body when I fix up my training. Really address that. In the future videos in this series, I'm gonna actually go really deep into training, so that's something to look forward to. But again, address the training, address the recovery, see how the body responds, go from there. So for someone who is skinny fat, that is kind of my advice to you, is you can go either way. Honestly, it doesn't matter, because you're not gonna achieve your dream body overnight. You're gonna have to take some time to mess around with it, actually find what works, and then see what you're happy with. So just like I said, it actually doesn't matter which way you go. Who cares? Let's try commit to a maintenance. Just whatever you kind of think your maintenance calories will be, commit to that. Don't eat shit food, eat good food. Again, we're gonna go over all the nutrition in future videos. That's why I didn't include all of my meals in this video, because I'm gonna go deep dive into nutrition. But again, eat well, eat at maintenance, train hard, let's see what the body does, then you can make adjustments later. If you feel really, really uncomfortable and you think, well, I just want to get rid of this, there's too much excess fat here, sweet, let's do a little dieting phase, get rid of that, then go back to square one and start with that lean bulk. But again, it should always be lean. There's no dirty bulks. I think they should never be permitted. I don't really like them. I've done it before, and I can tell you I ate KFC after every workout, and it was just all kinds of fucking bad news. So I would never recommend that. Now, the different physique is, if you are, obviously if you're really skinny and you feel like you just want to bulk, then great, get straight stuck into it. Fine. If you feel like you really are in no place to bulk right now and you want to get a bit leaner, like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I feel like everybody now should be in a position to make up their mind on what they look like. There is no set body fat percentage that you should be to start a bulk or a cut or whatever it is. Get that out of your head. It doesn't really matter. It more depends on how comfortable you are with your physique, and also at least just starting something. Like I said, start a maintenance, start a deficit, see what happens with the body, and then adjust from there. You don't need to commit extremes to one or the other. You can literally eat at maintenance, train super hard, watch what happens to your body, and then adjust from there. If you don't like it, if you feel like you're still too fat, okay, let's go through a dieting phase. If you feel like, look, this is okay, I can push it a bit more, let's focus on performance in the gym. Now, one thing I do want to touch on really quickly is, if you are starting and you're bulking and you're lean, that's a very different position than starting a bulk when you're fat. Because actually having a lot of fat gain does you no favors whatsoever. Think of having excess body fat as like a machine running really poorly. Your insulin sensitivity is all out of whack, and that's pretty much your ability to handle and tolerate carbohydrates, and that leads to inflammation out the wazoo and everything. So like really to keep control of your insulin sensitivity, huge, right? So that's why staying lean is advantageous in that sense, because the leaner the body is, the more insulin sensitive it is usually, and then the better it's gonna perform and feel. So that's why if you have some guy who's just perma bulking and he's like obese, terrible position to be in, because it's actually not healthy. So, but there's nothing wrong with being, having a little bit of excess weight, and that's where it's something we have to deal with mentally, is just carrying that little bit extra. You're not shredded. That's like social media now will tell you that you have to be shredded, but if you're trying to lean bulk, you're trying to progress, you're trying to grow, you just can't be shredded unless you're a freak of nature. So I am not an absolute freak of nature. I want to take you guys along with me on this journey of actually progressing, building muscle, doing what we're supposed to do in the best way possible, and actually enjoying the process. So I hope you guys liked this first video. If you did, please leave it a like, that would be amazing, and comment below. And like I said, I'm gonna give you guys as much information and value as I can in this whole bulking journey. So any questions you want answered, comment below. Otherwise, that is it for this video, and you guys know what to do. Stay massive.